Hi everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge hello to you. There's a lot to get through today. I want to take a look at does the US Attorney General Merrick Garland have the upper hand on the former president for all his the accusations of crimes that he's committed? Does Garland have that upper hand? Let's take a look at that. It'll be interesting to see what the cards say. My intuition says absolutely. We'll also look at Charlie Crist, who's now the Democratic candidate for the midterms for Florida governor. What's his chances with DeSantis? Some call him D-Satan. I have my own hits on him, which I'll get to in a minute. And also Republicans, what are they thinking about Trump? Are they starting to move away from him? Of course, there was an election in New York State, a bellwether seat. It was a special election. And surprise, surprise, the Democratic candidate got up and beat the Republican. There are huge messages for the GOP right now, huge learning taking place, huge karma, as someone would say. About a year back, people always ask me for midterm predictions. I said the Senate was going to go Democrats' way. This is well before any of the primaries, in front of the primaries. And that they would actually increase their majority by 2 or 3 seats, I thought. And I'm pleased to say it's looking like the Democrats not only will retain the Senate, but will increase their majority. It's a touch wood, let's not get in front of ourselves situation, but indications are that it is looking good for a Democratic victory in the Senate. I was less certain about the House in the American Congress, less certain. In fact, I didn't like to read on it because at that point I felt probably no. But now I'm going to take another look. And of course, as the former president gets closer and closer to some sort of justice finally being enacted, we're starting to see, has the penny dropped? Has the light gone on with the GOP? If they stick with this bloke, if they move toward extremism, if they start pulling back fundamental individual choice and rights, they're going to lose elections no matter how much they try and gerrymander. All right, the other thing for my European viewers, I did get a hit that even though Russia has told staff at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant to go home on indefinite leave, Putin still is using that as leverage. So I didn't see a meltdown. It's amazing I can even say those words. Who would have thought in 2022, knowing what we know, that we would fall to this level as a species on this planet? But I felt that he wasn't going to sabotage that nuclear plant because he needed it as a bargaining chip. Also, there are questions around his close advisor, Dugan. His daughter was apparently, I say apparently because they had an open casket in Russia, and it looked like she was kind of not dead for someone who was killed by a car bomb. I think she is past, I haven't pulled cards on it, but what I do get a real draw to is that Putin could have done this, ordered this himself. Okay, right, let's get started. Whether I'll get through all of them, I don't know. But let's get started, please. Where will we start? Maybe in the US, Charlie Crist versus DeSantis. Previous cards that I've pulled have shown that DeSantis will be involved in some kind of scandal before I don't know if it's before the midterms or before the 2024 election. As a result, he's not the GOP candidate. Okay, let's hone in here. Very cold today, and cold always triggers my asthma, and that's what you can hear. So I'm pulling from the Cosmic Tarot. I've also got the Chakra Wisdom Tarot as well. Let me just have I've got some throat chakra spray. It always clears the throat. And let's see if it'll do the same, energetically wise. Energy. I'll do a spirit file on energy shortly. Okay, Charlie Crist and Ron DeSantis. How are we going to do this? Okay, so I think Ron DeSantis will go down in scandal, lying and deceit, as they all do. Let's see Charlie Crist. Can he win in Florida? You know, the Senate races, I want to say Fetterman is a shoo-in. I don't have any doubt, providing his health stands up, that he will win in Pennsylvania. I think Tim Ryan has a good chance of taking down J.D. Vance, the faux hillbilly. I also think in Ron Johnson in Wisconsin, I think it is, it's one to watch. Haven't pulled cards on that yet, but one to watch. Now with Val Deming, I feel that the underlying energy is for her to win against Marco Rubio in the Senate, but she's not quite there yet. Okay, alrighty. Can Charlie Crist win in Florida as the Florida governor? Can Charlie Crist pull off this? He has been governor before. What some would see as a very surprising win. There's all sorts of voter suppression that goes on in all the Republican-held states. Can Charlie Crist win? Can Charlie Crist win in Florida against DeSantis? Can Charlie Crist beat DeSantis? I see the Six of Swords for what that is worth. So we have the Seven of Wands. That's standing one's ground and defending oneself. Let's see what else is there. The King of Wands. Okay, so this is a leadership. The question comes down to who they think is the most, I guess, the leader with the strength, and that's what Crist will have to prove, because that's what DeSantis does every day. He uses clickbait, if you like. He uses populist type of policies that create division, exactly out of Trump's playbook. But the King of Wands is also the court, and I did say DeSantis is involved in something where he has to defend himself. So those cards are interesting. The Eight of Wands, so I'm still getting a pull that there's a scandal surrounding DeSantis. The Eight of Wands, that will emerge. A lot of headlines coming out, very quick progress as well. The Prince of Wands, again, we've got a lot of fire energy. I'm not quite sure what sign Crist is, but there's a lot of wands that have turned up here. The Prince of Wands in the past, that is moving forward. That is an indication that some Floridians do want to move on from the Trump-DeSantis playbook. They've heard enough, is what I feel. They've heard enough. The Queen of Cups, yeah, I just keep getting revelations surrounding women coming out, and this reading is heavy with it, with DeSantis. Princess of Cups, yes, something is going to emerge here. That is important to this race, something that we're not expecting. Three of Pentacles, working to support. I think Crist has the ability to govern and govern well. This is someone that would assemble a good campaign team around him. And the Six of Cups, the past. So this is really nice energy for Crist here. The past and how he worked broadly. I know nothing about Crist, but how he worked broadly with others is what I'm feeling, and how he will work broadly with others. So the hopes and fears is the Death card. It's coming up a lot for the GOP. People want to see an end of something. Okay? An end of extremism. The Nine of Pentacles is the outcome card. That's a strong yes. That is a strong yes, and it's about independence as well. GOP hypocrisy trends on a hashtag for a reason, taking away free choice, government interfering in schools, in curriculum, in what we can and what we can't say. There's an overreach there that people are going to fight against. There's also the King of Swords here. So that can be the prosecutor. That can also be a plan, a strategy and a plan beyond this extremism. These are all yes cards. And the Four of Wands comes out as the Democrat card of celebration and reunion. I feel they're all yes outcome cards. Three of Wands, again another yes card. And this new start, this Ace of Cups, if you've watched me for any time, Princess of Wands, a lot of fire energy here. It's going to be a very, very highly motivated campaign. A lot of people want to see change in Florida from these cards at this point. It appears that Chris can win, but I also feel scandal is going to dog DeSantis as well. All right, let's have a look at... Let's go to the law. Let's go to the law and the walls closing in on the former president. Every legal move he makes, he just digs a bigger hole for himself. Now, let's just go to the documents. 300 classified, top secret, at the highest level. We're among those 300 documents. Boxes and boxes and boxes that Trump went through himself. A National Archives letter was released showing they had tried to get them back and he willfully held on to them. Does Garland have, well, first of all, what the former president does and has always done is try and run out the clock. Does Garland have the upper hand here? Does Garland, the DOJ head, have the upper hand in this investigation of potential crimes against the Espionage Act, taking these top secret documents? Does Garland have the upper hand? What am I seeing? Does Garland... There's a river here and it's like a drain. It's a sewer drain and it's spewing out stuff. Sorry to be so graphic, but it shows me probably what Garland thinks of Trump. Okay. And what he's got there. A lot of this stuff that Trump tried to bury, the way he's polluting things. Did Garland have the upper hand to stop that polluting of the truth? Seems like he has. Does Garland have the upper hand? Okay, so we've got the Queen of Cups. There's more revelations yet to come. She has secrets to tell us, and the Seven of Swords, the lie. Okay, so he's got Trump on the lie, some kind of big lie, deceit and lie. Wow. Oh, gosh, the Death card. He's going to take Trump down. The Death card has come up a lot, as you know, in the last year for Trump. I've always thought, well, is he actually going to pass away? Well, maybe he will. But this is about the end of him, and Garland is the one that's going to do it, along with the January 6th committee. Eight of Pentacles, does he have the skill? Does he have the upper hand? You better believe it. Oh, yes, Wheel of Fortune, finally, things are turning in the law, in favour of the law, upholding the law. Five of Pentacles in the near future. So there's a loss of some sort. This can be loss of money as well. This can be the election loss for Trump. Let's see where this is going. In the here and now, there's a lot of strength. This card came up in my reading the day before Lionsgate 8-8 in August. And of course, then it broke around these classified documents, the theft of. Now, we have heartbreak and betrayal in the atmosphere around. You know, reading these cards from a psychological point of view, in order for great strength to rise, you do need to uncover the truth. There's a reason why these three swords are piercing someone's heart, because the truth is hard to hear. The truth is going to upset a lot. This can be around betrayal, and it's like having to cut yourself away from something. You can't accomplish that unless you're strong, and Garland is strong. So the Nine of Cups in the hopes and fears, he brings forward all of our wishes, doesn't he? That's the hope. And we've got judgment. There's an inevitability here that judgment will be performed. The High Priestess is there's more to come, more secrets to come out. Perhaps what's being literally flushed down the drain. That's what that image was. And we've got the star, the North Star. At the base of the pack, we have a complete and utter downfall. It comes literally in relation to the Death card, where an old cycle is ending. And we've got wounded in battle, the Four of Swords. The Hermit, investigation, and it's stealth. He's got a lot more to come. He's got a lot more evidence on Trump, and it is inevitable that these secrets will come out. That's what the outcome card is saying. It's inevitable that the High Priestess, when she shows up, that the secrets will emerge. All right, I want to go to the GOP moving. When are they going to move away? Well, it's like right down to the line. That's Jerry Rafferty's song, isn't it? For those that remember Jerry Rafferty, they're going to only turn away when it's politically untenable for them to keep with him, and they'll carve themselves away from the MAGA domestic terrorists, because that's how they're going to be end up being perceived, as lawbreakers, and they will try and resurrect their party. But let's see, they're not quite doing that yet. The special New York, did they learn anything? Bellwether seat that can predict the outcome of the midterms? Will the GOP move away from Trump? So we've got here the World. Endings and beginnings. It's the last card in the major arcana. It's like when a big, huge cycle ends. And we've got the Princess of Coins. Okay, so, I say also the donors, they're just not getting the money being thrown at them. The King of Cups, more toward emotional maturity. Biden, I think they're starting now, the penny's starting to drop. That Biden shouldn't be underestimated, but this is also Garland as well. It's around emotions, and it's control of the emotions. The Ten of Cups is the voter in the past. I think some of them are already awake. And the Magician, manifestation, and also manipulation. That's in the sky. So their expression is, it's the same thing happened in Australia. They start they talk from the same playbook, and it's just like not, it's like deaf ears. It's falling on deaf ears because the voter has switched off. They have manifested what they're now reaping, and a lot of this is around the way they express themselves. It's like people want mature, stable, more stability. The number one concern in the US is the threat to democracy. And the only way you're going to tackle that threat is to implement the law and move toward this more mature, responsible approach. Some could say that in a way the definition of the Democrats, with their stable, accountable type of government, or they're striving toward that. Obviously, obviously no politician is absolutely perfect, but they're striving to keep the rule of law afloat. If they don't do that, you get that instability. And I said when the North Node moved into Taurus and the South into Scorpio, I said that voters would want stability and they would let a lot go. It's like the ending of a cycle. the 8 of Coins. Okay, so they want candidates that are skilled, that are quality candidates. That's where I see this going. And they can't have that with Trump election deniers. Now we have moderation. There's a huge, at the base of their, I guess if you looked at the GOP as an energy, the base of their energy, that's why I use these cards, because they mirror the chakras. They know that in order to win elections, they have to have moderation, and they have to have these skilled candidates. And that's what holds the whole structure up. 8 of Swords, they're extremely fearful at this time around their ability to win. And the 6 of Coins, in the hopes and fears. There's an issue here around money, around donors, and around money being leached off by one grifter to or another, whether it's Rick Scott holidaying in a luxury yacht in Italy, through to Trump siphoning off from the RNC. There's a huge concern here around money. And we have the 2 of Swords. So right now they're in decision mode. They're at the crossroads. Where are they going to go? And you'll know where they go by the subtle nuancing in their expression. When they start to express in a different way, you'll know they've made the decision. And the 10 of Wands, they're carrying huge loads right now. And the reason they're carrying huge loads is because they need to learn a lesson, basically. And the 4 of Coins, yeah, it's, as I said, there's for the GOP, it translates to money. The Empress card, Russian connections, and here's our 6 of Swords moving out of troubled waters, and the 10 of Coins. So they're looking for new starts right now. They can't do it under Trump. And I would say you will start to see, and I'd say it already has happened, some subtle undermining of Trump, stuff we don't see. And that's the clandestine way that the GOP will work in this. They will subtly destroy Trump by helping Democrats, not just overtly, but underneath the carpet. Their wish fulfillment to get what they wish, which is the end of Trump. He is not an asset anymore, as if he ever was. But look, they'll reap what they sow until they, as we say in Australia, get fair income about responsibility. Okay, so let's go to maybe the midterms. We'll finish off on the midterms. I am not reading on the Senate again. Every time I read, it's the same thing. Oh, how boring. Democrats increase their majority. Well, let's not get complacent, okay? All right, we'll read on the House. That's the more difficult one. I didn't feel a year ago that they would, but then as time went on, when I read the cards, it kind of said line ball. And that's where I left off because, yeah, I wanted to tell you something positive. So it is with great trepidation that I asked the cards again to show me. Let's give them a good shuffle. We want this to count. Please show me. Cut the deck. Show me if the Democrats can keep the House. Can the Democrats, and I'm telling you now, I think Nancy Pelosi is retiring at the end of this term. Now what I'm seeing here is it's light. It's light above the clouds. It's healing hands. This is it's the Star card. Can the Democrats keep and win the House? Can the Democrats keep and win the House? Well, there's that light, but it's ending of a cycle. I did say I thought Nancy Pelosi was retiring there. It's endings and new beginnings, and we have the Sun card. Okay, so there's a lot of light in these cards. This is like This is like one energy cycle finished with and a new one beginning. So if they do, and they are both yes cards, if they do win, it's a whole different new cycle for them. Whole different new cycle. Whenever the Sun card is in the pack, it's illuminating what is ending and shining brightly on what is beginning. The Princess of Wands, yeah, okay, so she turned up in the very, very close result. I'm feeling positive, but it's like it's not gonna be a big majority. But it's the Princess of Wands. That's a new start. This is the Roe being overturned has it's just put rocket fuel underneath voters, women voters. Okay, what's in the past here? Lies and deceit. Okay, again, you reap what you sow. People want stability. They want their democracy protected. They even want skilled candidates. So that's why in that bellwether seat, you saw it go to the Democrats. They want people that are going to work hard, get off this lying, election denying mill, and preserve their democracy. Now, the immediate future, we've got the Five of Coins. I'm not sure how the money situation is with the House campaigns, but this is like inflation as well. However, the concern about the democracy is higher than concern about inflation. I think already, and I don't know the outcome cards here, I think that they will just get over the line because of the overturning of Roe and the lawlessness, the election denying, and what happened on January the 6th. So the Ace of Cups, absolutely, people want a new start. They don't want MAGA terrorism type lying election deniers. I'm talking about the majority. There will always, always, always be a hardcore MAGA that nobody is going to touch. So the Six of Wands here, moving out of troubled waters. I think right now people are feeling a whole lot more confident as they go into the midterms. Ten of Coins, yeah, I'm not sure in the hopes and fears. I'm not sure. Some candidates need more help financially, I'm going to say. Now there's a crossroads, okay? So right now it's a crossroads. Let's see what is, Six of Wands, that's victory. So, sorry, that's victory, but we have now here the Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters. So they're going to vote for the candidates that preserve their democracy and take them out of that instability. And we've got the Empress card here. Some also are concerned about the GOP ties with Russia. And we have the Six of Cups in the past. So the Mueller, unredacted Mueller report is being released, or memo, Barr's memo, Bill Barr's memo. And we're seeing that it was all a furphy, all a lie, just a made up thing to get the answer that they wanted, which was, no, we're not charging him with obstruction, but yes, he did obstruct. And it wasn't that there wasn't conspiracy with the Russians, it's just that they couldn't prove it at that stage beyond reasonable doubt. This is telling me that that's going to play into the midterms, that whole scenario, which I'll read on a bit later. So there's a decision, heavy decisions for independents who may not agree with the Democrats at this time, or Biden at this time, the inflation, etc., etc. But they want to move things onto a more stable footing, and they're defending their democracy, basically. That's how they see it. And we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands, the January 6th, national security. All of these things matter. And by the time we get to November, I think you're going to find Democrats will keep the House by a small majority. Republicans, watch out. Now, I want to just do one last pull. I know I said I wasn't, but for my UK viewers, they faithfully support this channel. And I do want to just pull on Who will be the next Prime Minister? Who will be the next Prime Minister of the UK, or England, I should say? Who will be the next Prime Minister of England? Will it be Liz Truss or, oh God, I've forgotten his name. Liz Truss or Sunak, Rishi Sunak. Okay, one's the Foreign Minister, the other's the former Finance Minister. Let's have a look. Sunak or Truss? Let's pull for Truss first. Will Truss win the Tory selection here for Prime Minister? Will Liz Truss be the next Prime Minister of England? Liz Truss, next Prime Minister of Britain, or England, I should say. 8 of Coins, they see her as perhaps more skilled in a way. I'm not sure why, but that's a good card. And we have the Sun card again. So they see her as more skilled, or skills are illuminated here. But we have the 7 of Swords, which is lies and deceit. There's so much, I don't think the Tories are going to win at the next election. I think it'll be a combination of the Social Democrats and the Labor. I think there's some kind of coalition going to be in power next time. The 5 of Coins in the past, the UK has been through so much. 6 of Swords, they want out of trouble, financial, Brexit, everything. They just want to be back to where they were. The World card in the immediate future, endings and beginnings. The Hermit card, she doesn't have a lot of support. Why is that? The Fool card, they want a new start. Okay, deep introspection as to who is the best politically to give them a new start. King of Swords in the hopes and fears. It's logic that's coming into play here. Who's the best person to win the next election? The Lovers card, Gemini, is the outcome card. I think she's going to gain enough support once people work out that next question. Who is going to be capable of winning an election? Not that they will, but I think they're going to go with her. Princess of Coins. And the Hierophant, yeah. The Magician, yeah, manifestation. She's manifesting success. I think without even pulling on Sunak, although I can just to show you, she's got very good cards. It's likely going to be her. Okay, so Sunak. Show me Sunak. To be fair. They might prefer Sunak, but they are thinking in the longer term that Truss will be more palatable in some way than Sunak. Maybe because of the economic problems that England is facing. Sunak, is he the next leader of the Tory party and thus the Prime Minister? Is Rishi Sunak, is he the next leader of the Tory party and Prime Minister? Sunak. Straight away, that it's a hard decision for the Tory party. King of Cups, so we want emotional wisdom here. That's the foundation, stability. They want someone who's going to bring stability. 4 of Coins, it's the economy also that's in the frame here in relation to this question. The Empress card in the sky, that's the woman, that's the abundance. And the 3 of Wands, does he have overseas connect? There's something, do they put him as one of the, is Brexit going to go against him? Because they feel in some way they've been betrayed. Oh, yeah. And okay. So they feel that she carries less baggage, hopes and fears, the Queen of Cups. It's pretty clear. We have the King of Pentacles as the outcome. That's him, without a doubt. And the High Priestess. Okay, so there's something we haven't seen yet. And the 5 of Cups is loss. Okay, so businesses have lost as well. In some way, he carries more baggage than she, and I haven't been closely following that. Knight of Wands is movement towards skill, and they want the ending of something. They want basically a miracle. Three of Cups, circles of support, and the Six of Wands, victory with the Ace of Cups. It's a really hard question to answer, but I'm just going, based on the King of Pentacles, which is business, and the High Priestess and the Five of Cups. There's something going to emerge about him even before they take that vote. That is, or it could be that just people are dwelling on the loss, and he's too closely associated with Johnson. I think if they had their rathers, they'd bring him in. But they're looking at the longer term, who can beat Labor and the Liberal Democrats, Social Democrats, who can win an election, and they feel she's got a better chance. Anyway, that's the reading for today. Thanks for tuning in.